How you going?
Hey, morning, mate.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
Good, mate. Thank you.
Alrighty, let's get into this. Um, how do you guys get on for the rest of yesterday? You guys do all right?
I didn't take any more trades.
Cool.
Yeah, be cautious around the news.
Yeah, man. The news is anyone's guess. So they the numbers are a bit sus. So let me explain some things. Then they came in good numbers the day before. The day before they came in bad numbers. Okay, so oh, okay. Yeah, ADP, non-farm payroll. A couple of things here. So you've got, if you go to the latest release, where you'll see the ADP, they they when they so this is the way that they gather this by tax receipts. This one, and what they actually they actually um, arguably a bit more accurate. They still take a sample size, so it's not inclusive of everyone, but they actually look at a lot more businesses. So in the ADP, you see like this is the two small companies, 1 to 19, 20 to 49, and you got mid size, 50 to 250, 250 to 500, and then large, 500 plus. You see like where jobs were lost was predominantly small businesses. Mid-size did all right, but like the bigger mid-size lost quite a lot, and then the large is put on jobs. So like your WalMarts, McDonald's, those kind of things. Um, and then they extrapolate this out for the rest of the population. So this is where they what they estimated that came in, and you can see like so arguably they could say that some of these small businesses, as things are slowing down, maybe they're taking on AI to kind of do some of the tasks rather than employees. And large businesses, what could be happening here is that um, it doesn't take into account that the same person could be doing multiple jobs. But they showed here like the last people that the smaller businesses lost jobs. So then we go to the BLS. So this one they actually just call businesses and they ask and they say how many employees do you have last month versus how many do you have this month. And these guys focus more on large businesses. So came in good numbers. So it's not surprising that there's like quite a big discrepancy between the two Bureau of Labor Statistics and automatic data processing. Um, so and then if you dive deeper into it, it shows like where the jobs are put on, and there were like 73,000 jobs were government jobs. Health and primary care jobs continue to decrease. If you look at, you don't have it on here, but you've got unemployment claims is being pretty sticky. But then what you have another one is continuing unemployment, which is continues to grind higher. So that's under the Fred. So Fred continuing unemployment claims. So the first one is how many people are filing unemployment for the first time, and then you've got from here, this is continuing unemployment. So they're continuing to claim once they've been unemployed, then they they just the next week they pick up their paycheck again, or next month, or whatever it is. And then what you can see here is that it's been steadily climbing, so that now it's that once people are out of a job, they're finding it harder and harder to even find a job. So this is interesting that you see that they don't really report on this one, but continued claims is rising, where unemployment claim, the first time claims, is been pretty steady. It's like it's creeping up slowly, but it's been, you know, sat around this 200 and something for ages. So it's pretty incredible, like how it's just chopping around, not really increasing. So it's moving slow enough that there's not really any forced layoffs, and enough to like create any sort of policy shift. Now the unemployment rate, how this one dropped down, this is due to two things. It's actually a smaller labor force. So when people entered, Tom, no problem. When people entered into the country, so you would have like immigrants coming across the border, and when they first enter into the US, they come across with no job, and they come in, and when they enter, the BLS picks them up as unemployed people. So they had like a growing labor force because of like mass immigration, which is adding to the unemployed. But now you actually got a lot less immigration that's absolutely created under Trump. So they're not entering in as unemployed people. So you're getting a smaller portion of unemployed people, because you're not getting unemployed people coming across the borders, and then they're not putting enough jobs on to factor in people that are retiring or dying. So you actually got a shrinking labor force. And then the other one is, if you've been unemployed out of a job for, I think it's 12 months, once you're over 12 months unemployed, now you're no longer considered an unemployed person that is going to be going back to work, and you don't count as a number here anymore. So you're not eligible in the workforce. If you found a job, you would go back into it as a job made. But this number is looking at adult population of working age that have been unemployed for less than 12 months, or a new person coming in. So you can see, because it's just like the way that it comes across is like quite dodgy, these numbers. But it don't matter what it doesn't matter like what we think and on the accuracy. What we need to consider is, on the surface level, this looked like a fantastic jobs report. The only negative was the average hourly earnings coming in, so the quality of the jobs was definitely decreasing quite a bit. So it's obviously that more jobs are making bringing down the average hourly rate. So it's like a lot more a lot more lower quality jobs than high quality jobs. So on the surface level, comes in, it's like, whoa, man, this is unexpected. They put on, a ton more jobs, and they actually had a revision up, went from 139 up to 144. So that broke the trend for the last 4 months, where it constantly got revised down. This time it got revised up, and then they beat the expectations. Unemployment came in. The Fed thought it was going to go up by 0.1, actually went down by 0.1. So that's a large sigma miss. So when you get large sigma misses in the data, you get outsized moves. And because this was a positive jobs report, what we saw was price just like rocket up. But then as the numbers get pulled apart and the devil in the detail, then you start seeing things, it just doesn't have that same ability to keep things going. So we see NASDAQ pull back, we see US 30 pull back, we see US 500 pull back as well. Gives you a bit of insight for that. So US dollar was very strong, Okay, you saw this immediate reaction, massive reaction to the downside, US strengthening, and then it's basically just given back everything now. Because it was, yeah, it's a good example of a news cycle. First news comes out, everyone's like, "Whoa!" Gets out like all sort of really excited for it, and then when the details start becoming clear, then it just sort of lacks that second phase push. Cool. So my actual is Mike here? Michael's not here. My Aussie yen trade that I've been running since mid-May finally hit the target yesterday. Can't believe how long I've been running this one for. Got into the trades down in here when this one, and because it was a carry trade, I was happy to let it run. But I was looking for it to come back up to this point. So on the 4 hour, I think it was. Do you guys remember these when I was saying these ideas back? Maybe I don't remember, but I was like, pricing needed to just launch up. It launched up, but then I was like, all right, now if it pulls back to this level, or pulls back to this level, I'll jump in for swing trades back up to this black line. And then just had my stops fairly wide. It was a swing trade, so it was a swing trade with a positive carry. So what that means is every night I hold the trade, I was getting paid positive interest rates because Aussie pays higher interest rates than yen. So if I was shorting Aussie yen each day, I'd lose money in swap fees. But in this case, I was making money in swap fees, not much. It was only like $6 per standard lot, but I had a couple of positions on, and it's $18 on a Wednesday. No, sorry, it's less. It's not quite $6. Anyway, but for 2.5 months, I had that on. No, wait, 2.5 months, 1.5 months, just collecting collecting swap fees. Eventually, like, it just ground up. This was tough because every time I thought it was going to hit target, it just kept on pulling back, and we kept on having like some like I had to go through some war. Like the Iran was a bit concerning whether the yen would strengthen, but it kept on going. Finally hit that target, and now yeah, I'm closed out of everything, but it's pulling back quite some now. Okay, so, but yeah, I think Michael will be pleased. He's finally out of this trade as well. It's been there a long time. Today is July 4th, so the US, the indices are open, but the actual stock market isn't going to be open. So we're not going to have any drivers. We're not going to have any like US drivers really. It's just going to be kind of like algo trading. I thought right now would be a good time to sort of discuss, like, Jim got this indicator across to me very quickly, very quick turnaround, very, very, very pleased, very thankful. This is each candle. This is each candle as a session. I'm gonna remove all my drawings. I think this week has well and truly been looked after. So can see that's what I was talking about yesterday. Okay, so this is each one of these candles now is each one of these sessions is now a candle, which is cool. And my theory is that I mean, if you've got you don't need to sit like this New York session. I know the green kind of makes you think like it was a bullish candle, and it was a bullish candle, but you see this one here. This one here is not a bullish candle. Yeah. Can you guys easily tell that that's not a bullish candle just because the color can confuse people, but you know that's not a bullish candle. You know this one here is also not a bullish candle, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because you look at like where price like opened, it definitely didn't open down here because no, the candle to the left doesn't match up.
Asia. That's New York.
So my theory is that if we got, I mean, it's correct for both of them, that if we got a New York session that closed quite strong up near its highs and near the highs of the day, if London was opening a fair bit above this, my theory would have a pullback, like at least a tail on the session. And same thing, we've got another day, closes up near the highs of the day and the highs of the session. And we've got a London session, opens up higher, and see how it pulls back, has a bottom tail. Then this one here, this one, the same thing, pushes up, closes near the highs of the day. London opens higher, and London this time has a pretty significant pullback.
Did you do this, Hayden?
No, Jim did it for me. This is what we were talking about yesterday.
I know that's what you're talking about, but who's Jim?
Jim, PW trader in here, in the chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the one that did the where is
the
it?
Sessions.
Yeah, Jay.
I know the one. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Very, very quick turnaround, isn't
What's
it?
he?
So,
Doesn't he like the name Jim?
Does he? That's awesome.
He must not. He's called himself PW Trader.
Oh, I'm not sure what PW is.
Please wait.
Patient trader, the patient trader. So this one here, again, this is what kind of gauged my idea yesterday, that this was a pretty bullish candle, this New York session that pushed up. And then we get into the London session, which opened higher than the previous New York session. So I was like, oh man, I think it's just going to be, I'm going to look for longs, as we did look for longs, but I'm going to look for longs after a pullback. So I just had to wait for it to pull back. You could have taken shorts if you found an opportunity, or if you had a long bias, just wait for the longs. And then, yeah, it came down. It came down yesterday. I put price on, and the longs that we took, initial longs, were from here back up. I thought we could have had the extension higher because I was targeting London high from a few days back. London decided to push down deeper into this New York session, and then it was the news from NFP that was able to finally break up. So kind of sucky that it happened around that news, because you probably wouldn't have been in a trade with that news around the corner. And then once it triggered, it basically just in the minute of the news. See that news in the minute. So you wouldn't have been able to have captured that, even if you were looking to buy, unless you were in it a minute beforehand, gambling that the news was going to come in positive. You wouldn't have been able to capture it. Even if you had a buy stop like here, it probably wouldn't have triggered your buy stop until like up here. And then you would have been caught in massive slippage immediately. But price eventually then just filled that wick and continued up. Very, very nice day. Filled that wick a little bit higher. Roll into the new day. Devil's in the details of the jobs report. Not so good. Price has now been falling down. But pretty cool, isn't it? Like the idea sort of come to life so quickly. And then just to be able to see that it doesn't work with gold. Works with indices because New York session is a pretty powerful session, and German 40 is integrated with the US stocks as well and the US economy. And you get a clear separation where you have London volume, then you get a bit of a lull with Asia session. Even though you can get moves in Asia, it still doesn't. There's just not physically. There's not that much money that's thrown around. And then London session is the next logical time when volume enters the market. So this is where previous sessions can do some profit taking, rug pulls, etc., etc. Now with gold's a different beast because London session's actually the shittiest session now of the whole day. So Asia session has huge volume because of the Shanghai Gold Exchange, and they just love gold in that part of the world. And then you have New York session because New York session is just a beast. But you have like London session now. This is something that happened in the last like 2-3 years. Never used to be like this. Used to be Asia session lowest volume, London about double the volume of Asia, and then New York about triple or 4 times the volume of London. Like it used to be that you could reliably average about a $5 move in Asia, and then you could look for anywhere between a $10 and a $20 move in London, and then New York could be say like anywhere between $30 to $50 of price movement. That would be what it used to be a couple of years back. Oh, maybe about 3 or 4 years back now. Now it's hugely different. Asia session moves on average. I haven't run the stats, but you'd have to think Asia session would often move around. It could be $15 to $20 in the Asia session. Probably even more actually. Probably because it's how volatile it is. Probably been skewed. Probably Asia session is probably close to $25 on average. London session is probably closer to $15, and then New York session would have to be anywhere between $50 to $100. So there's crazy moves. But because it goes from high volume session to high volume session, and then London's the crappy one, then like it just when it wants to surge, it surges. So you see like New York session closes up near the highs of the day, and then it just continues. Like you see too many runs like this where there's just zero pullback. So it's purely something that I noticed on currencies and indices. But when you get to commodities, this is not the way I wanted to use this. But it's nice to visually see that my thoughts were confirmed. Any thoughts?
Well done, Jim or PW. I'm not sure which one to call you.
Have you never just used a 7-hour candle, Adam?
7 hour.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. It gives you a 2-hour candle from 10 p.m. So
no,
That's
because
Morning, guys.
Hey Sarah, how you feeling?
Yeah, I finally got back out last night, but my MRI showed some bits in my. I've got a couple of slip discs, some nerves touched what's causing the issues, but thankfully it's not the major spinal because they were going to have to operate.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah.
So I think it's that quarter Akina still.
So that again.
That quarter Akina. Do they think it's that?
Yeah, that's what they thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the 7-hour candle, Paul. No, for the reason that is that what I wanted.
Sorry, the dogs were barking, so that's why it's.
Oh, good. is that I wanted the sessions to be really defined to the times I normally look at.
I mean, the similarities that you get from New York Open to you get that 7-hour candle, so that candle will be almost identical because the last sort of hour is dead. But this is neat what Jim's done. I like it.
Yeah, you just don't get the quite that detail defined of what London decided to do and what Europe did as well in pre-London.
Yeah, what time? If you look on the 7-hour, what time does the Europe candle open? So, yeah, it's at the open.
So it's at 5. Oh, it depends on who you look at, I guess.
It doesn't give you that pre-London view, which is quite important for preparing for London session.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Alrighty. So we're seeing all that optimism just fade because we're about to go into the open here, and it makes sense why, because the jobs number on surface level look fine, but the detail, it's like, it's just it's not as good as it seemed. Alrighty, here's the open. So what are you guys looking for? We've got this zone here, which got tested. We're about to come down and test it again. Let's make that an hour. Thinking sell, Tom? So we've never taken out this Asia session.
I had a nice short earlier.
Did ya? Got in early.
You know what they said about the early bird?
Yeah. Gets the shorts.
Gets the champagne, Sarah.
Yeah, unfortunately on morphine I can't have that.
Doing the good stuff.
Goes well with that.
Yeah. Oh, that and others.
Alright, so this seems to be like the London, sorry, on that candle. I should actually check that candle on here as well, shouldn't I?
I would be looking at that. Personally, I'm looking at a long, but I've not taken anything yet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we can play around with this more, because you see this is the boundary, like the closing, like where it just couldn't stay underneath here. That's a really decent level. So I think if we can close lower, like I'll only look for sells once we are convincingly closed below here, thinking that we'll test this zone again and we'll come down to the bottom. But if we're, man, look at this. That's a big candle already. Given yesterday's London session was only 70 pips for the total. 67, I think. Oh no, sorry, it was 130. It was for the first hour was 67 pips, and this already's gone 70. So already done in the first 2 minutes what London achieved yesterday for the open. It's a low, like we could have good movement today, but it's still low volume because of New York being away. But this is a good zone, man. I actually think this was a good. I think this was a missed opportunity just then. I don't want to take a trade immediately anyway, but we've got this. I got this level as a decent support level, and we actually had 15-minute divergence at that level. I think anyone that took buys, well done. Your day could be been done so quickly. But yeah, if we can find a short to go back down, because this has now created a bit of an imbalance, so I'm sure there will be some sort of correction on that candle. but anything breaking the low of that candle as well. If that's a significant little support, if it can break underneath that, then I think this is just a reaction to the demand level. And this demand level being tested once already has a better chance that maybe it does go down another 40 pips to the downside, maybe test back down into this area. Got a little bit of a fair value gap as well, right across here. So yeah, okay. Is anyone in anything right now?
No, I'm flat.
We've got the guy's not talking until tonight. Taking a punt, 1 minute sell. Cool. Yeah, man. Eddie just got there. Good. Tom's in the short. Yeah, it's like he got overbought. I know it was just a quick mock-up, Jim, for this. Would you be able to do a universal control for the candle colors for like transparency? It's easy enough just to change them all on individually.
Yeah, I can have a look at that. Yeah, I think that's pretty easy.
Cool, thank you. And I think it's just the placeholders here where there's
Oh God, yeah. I missed that.
but it's a very very simple and effective though. It's exactly what we needed, wasn't it? That's cool though, isn't it? Like just that, like it really does seem to be some. Obviously, it doesn't like a day like here where it's like pulled back into it already, into yesterday's price action. Obviously, like that, there's a different story then if it opens up. Like the main reason I wanted this is just to visually see if New York was strong and London opened higher, can I expect to see a tail?
It's definitely worth a look every morning. Yeah.
Yeah, super quick as well. Just to have that initial bias, like just be patient, jumping into any buys. If everything's looking so bullish at London Open, it's just It's a very dangerous time to actually enter in anything. Okay, so the lower time frame, so pushed down about 30 pips. No, 40 pips. So I pushed up 80, came back 50%. Just going to turn it off for now. So let's see if we can either get price going higher. So price kind of boosted off here. And now it looks like we're forming a base. So is this going to be a rally base rally? Rally base drop. Rally base until we finish the stream. To close the stream, then drop. We'll see. I mean, to put pressure on Asia, we've got Asia kind of gathered itself and then sold down. So they've sold in Asia, and they sold a second time in Asia, potentially a third time in Asia. We've taken out one of the swings just now, having a reaction. We've got some more, like this is a little bit chunky area, and then we've got the full-on Asia highs. So if we did happen to move higher and we start creating divergence up in these areas, yeah, I think I'd be, if this broke higher now, I'd be a bit cautious with any cowboy trades. Just because if we're seeing euro strengthen again, we could see, there's two things I'm concerned about really. If it's US dollar weakness, I don't think it's going to be that, but if it's US dollar weakness, people might be staying in European equities. But we've also, with European equities, we've got the threats of July 9 and any comments over the weekend regarding Trump trying to pressure ECB into coming up with a deal or have some heavy tariffs. And if that side of the equation comes into it, then I think people would be pretty risky bets to be putting much into European equities with this weekend looming. I think at the moment Trump's focus is on this bill getting passed, and then as soon as that's done, well, who's the next target? Is it going to be now trying to pressure Europe into getting them into a deal? Maybe, and then there could just be a lot of like crappy talk just to pressure them. So I kind of think with these heights that we're at, I kind of think that that's much more likely. Is that that the threat of whatever Trump does post signing this bill, I think I'd rather be looking for downside. Okay, kind of inside candle here now. From this 4 minute, 3 minute as well. And we're kind of consolidating a bit here now. Let's see. Let's see where it wants to go. I forgot to cook eggs. I'll do it for a snack.
Oh, you forgot yesterday as well?
There was one egg left yesterday, so I ate that one. Because you left it. Didn't.
I left it. No, I had to have cereal because there was no eggs.
Don't look at me like that. I'm working.
It's Friday. It's Friday. What are you gonna do eggs? If there's no eggs for now, I'm gonna have the cereal
For a snack. Let's check any headlines. What's this? 218 to 2. Gold's dropping. Oh, far out. What's going on? That's 100 pips. Yeah, well, still, yet I don't see anything just yet that I want to take a punt on. Well, this candle looks, that rejection looks very nice. Whether that came up there and rejected down. Yeah, we'll see, man. If this is the weather that came up and rejected that. If it started pushing down, I think it's going to do that full correction and then some. But we'll see, because it's still stuck at this area. It's kind of just consolidated here. Oh, hey Nish, how are you? Yeah, that rejection was very, very good. Scoured in on the 1 minute, nice one. Yeah, I'm liking this for the sells. Came back up, retested it. Oof. Yeah, man. Rally, base, drop. So good close, very good close. Now is whether it can actually get down and then target all the way down to here. So that nice little candle as well on the 3 minute. Reject that rejection. So it just at the moment that's the fair value gap as well, which is filled from here up. Like this 23,740. Yeah, so I like that. I think that makes a hell of a lot of sense. It's a 5 minute HCS retest, was it? Let's have a look.
I don't know why I'm typing. I could talk. Just too used to typing. Yeah, there's an HCS on 5 minute. Yeah, where you are there. The HCS down.
These two.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That HCS where it broke through hasn't been retested.
Mm-hmm. You don't consider that the retest?
Hang on, let me just annotate quickly. I'm looking at that HCS, which it's not actually touched.
Oh, I see. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, that's not even higher.
Yeah, lower down one.
Yeah. Cool, man. Come on. I'd say leaves that. Like that first candle for London. It's just completely erased it, basically. Let's see whether London actually bought to protect or if they bought to sell. Come on, drop. How much would that be? That would be from top to bottom, 130 pips. It's a pretty standard session then. So it could very easily do that. Come on. We've got a 30-minute candle as well, like a big rejection candle. Okay, there is a bit of support though across here. That's why it's not giving it too easily. Once that breaks, down she goes. Come on. Yeah, there's the only thing that's giving it issues. This bit here. But it feels like it's just a matter of time. Let's just invert the scale. Just have a look real quick. Doesn't actually add anything to me. But if it does break that, then it kind of makes me think that this wouldn't stop it. If it breaks, if it can break above here, I think that this is a great area. Like I wouldn't want to, like it could easily go up, and then you don't want to have to like sort of sit through this when you can actually be done for the day by the time that it gets up to here. But if it, I do think there's a good chance that if it hits that, that it could eventually fill this whole space. And this is the next zone where there's good liquidity up here. But I think this is a prime reaction area. So breaking above here, just here to here, I think is a very good target for the session. 130 pips for the session would be very nice. It's got to get below this. Get below this this little purple box. So got a little inside candle. Maybe it wants to come up and take the top of the inside candle first. We've got a bit of a gap here as well. So see if it can, if it is like rejecting here and then coming back down, I think that will be prime time for it to break.
think I need a good 10-minute close, which I think is in 30 seconds. And
Yeah,
it closes below the inside.
yeah. The 30 minutes looking pretty nice. That big
Yeah,
rejection.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was looking good. Just came back. It's got, this is a little. No, sorry, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, come on. Here we go. Drop
Did you get in, Hayden?
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if it's worth taking any partial or not. It just feels like it could go all the way down.
Yeah, yeah. No, I did take partials though. So I pretty much always take partials.
Yeah.
That's looking very good. Take out this wick now, and then we've got 40 pips further for it to go. Come on. So this is the top of that zone. So I'll see, this is kind of like a nut. See if it wants to just like have to test it a couple of times, or if it can finally close inside, it can just go straight down. But it could be a sensitive zone, this area. Well, shouldn't be a loss anyway from now on. I mean, it's now, what are we on? We're on 100 pips for the session from high to low. If you got in, Asia 50% roughly around here, we're price tapped into. It consolidated, like it rallied, consolidated up here, and then pushed down. Do you guys understand the like idea, like why it kind of made sense to lean into some sells with the threat of tariffs? Like just like from a trader point of view, it'd be very, don't know where it can go from here, but at least like for London, if Asia, it's the same thing. Asia sort of pushing down, got to some of these sensitive support areas. It made sense for the very least. If this price rallied so quickly on that open, made sense at least for even if it was consolidating. So what made me get into this trade was this rejection, this one here, when price was pushing up into that zone, and then how it rejected that top area. I was like, oh, okay, that looks like a very nice rejection. So then, as it was coming down, then I didn't add anything to down in these areas. But once it rejected up here, around that Asia 50%, that was this is the first rejection. To me, this wasn't I just waited. I didn't do anything at this time. Price came up again, and then as it rejected here, and I was like, it's either going to break out and keep on going a bit higher to the next level of Asia, or it's going to reject. And as it was rejecting, it looked like a strong enough rejection that it was going to like drop down through it.
I didn't see a divergence there as well.
Oh, inside, yeah, my eyes wouldn't. I
Between
wouldn't.
those two.
I wouldn't have.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I would. I don't. My eyes couldn't have caught that easy either. No way. My eyes, like I would have to look at it a bit higher. Like this. This is something that I can see very easily without indicators. But these ones, where it's kind of like in the middle of the swings, I don't see them so easily. All right. Did you take partials, Jim?
No, I'm going to let it run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, I've closed one of them. The first one I closed.
Oh yeah.
So my second one, I'm just letting run. Mm-hmm. If it comes back and takes me, it takes me. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to learn to let things run.
Yeah.
The only way to learn is to do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I keep thinking that as well, and then I still scale out along the way, and it's just like it's almost like every single day. It's like the could have been on when I'm on a winning run, when I'm like hitting a lot more. Like the last few weeks have been very good. It could have been way better if I just not scaled out. But then there's other days where price just doesn't seem to go anywhere, and even when I've scaled, I've just like ground out wins every day. So it's
I used to take quite a higher percentage as my first take profit, but where I am now taking partials, I'm trying to limit it to 30%. So I'm still leaving 70 running. Because I was taking 80%, and you leave 20% running, it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't, no.
And I kind of realised that. So if I get to a decent 3-1 or 4-1, I want to take a partial, then I'll take 30%, but I'll try and leave the 70 running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on when the price isn't really moving too much, and it's like really kind of crappy price action. Then taking 80%. At that first opposing level, you end up with like a pretty like in crappy conditions, you end up with some good profits.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
But when it's trending, you look at back and you're like, man, I just left so much on the table because I scaled out too quickly.
Yeah.
And it's what you feel comfortable with. It's like at least even on crappy days, it's almost like if you scale that heavily, your daily profit is pretty similar all the time. Because we can at least get like 40-50 pip moves most days. Like it's pretty unusual to get a day where we don't even have like a 50 pip opportunity. Whether we took it or not is another story. But you could pretty much always find a move where there was 40 or 50 pips and then take 80% at an opposing level and let the rest run.
Yeah.
But so you can almost have the same profit almost every single day or similar. Depending on how you execute. But when in days it runs and you get like these 130, 200 pip days where you actually held the runner, or you held like a good portion, the runner was bigger than the first partial, then those are the days where you get like you could have small profits for a lot of the week, but then you have one day that just is like 4 or 5 times the other days. So over time, I think you can make a lot more money, but it's also very frustrating as well when you see in good profit come back to nothing, good profit come back to nothing, good profit come back to nothing. Then you find if you start changing your system to try, like it's those changes, knowing that you change your system based on just a couple days of price action rather than just saying no, over a month or over 2 months or 3 months, I know if I stick true to it, I could have some lean periods, but I can have some absolutely like massive days as well.
Yeah, I think what I've done a few times on when things are trending in my direction is find the time frame where I can just keep an eye on the previous candles, low or high, and just track it down. So if you go on a 3 minute and you look at a move, so during A's session, say here for example, if you got in there, I just wait. I find a time frame where it seems to not be breaking the previous candle's high, and I just keep in the trade until it does break the high. Then I'll take profit. So instead of taking it here, for example, I'd end up taking it here because I'm saying if it goes above this point, I'll take 30%. If it goes above this point, I'll take 30%. If it goes above this, 30%. Goes above this, and then it did here. So that's where I'd be taking my 30%. But I try and find the time frame where it's not breaking the highs.
Yeah, where it's trending.
That only works when it's in a trend, obviously, when it's actually moving quite quickly.
Yeah. It used to.
That's helped me as well. That's definitely helped me.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good idea. The a guy that I learned off a long time ago called Darko. He had it doesn't work anymore. It almost stopped working as soon as he it worked for about a month more after he did this presentation on it. But he'd been trading it for 6 months to see if it was had a true edge, and then he presented it, and it worked for a month, and then it stopped working. But it was this is years and years and years ago, but it would be on Euro USD or Pound USD on the hour time frame, and we'll just go real quick. Random bar. Let's go back to another random bar. 2023. Ah, come on. I'm gonna go back. I want to see how far back we can go. I learned from him in the.
What was his name again?
Darko Ali.
All right.
Okay, so where are we? 2021. Anyway, I'll start here. It was before that though. It was in 2018 or so. But what he was looking at was if you got a pin bar. Oh crap! I pushed that. Whatever. I'll just stick here. It was that if you got a pin bar, like so, or a candle that not really a pin bar, but if you got something like that, then you just enter and you just try your stop until you got stopped out, and you just have to get this anytime between 6 and 10 a.m. London time. That you get an hour candle that was like this, and then you enter on the close of the candle, stop loss above it, and then you just trail your stop below, above every high of the candle until eventually it just wicks you up and takes you out. And there was one day where I remember it was I think it was the last day. The last time it worked for me was, I think it was Pound US, and it was a very small pin bar candle. Back then it was 10 pips was a good hour candle. 10 pips, crazy. And it was around 10 pips, and this one went for 70 odd pips before I got stopped out. And it was it was a 7-to-1, just following down. And I remember it was in Sarah and I were on holiday at that time, and I was so excited, just trailing it down. And I was like, man, this is amazing. And then you're getting around 2 to 3 a week, and then ever since then it just completely vanished.
Yeah,
it's funny how these things just come and go.
Might be interesting to have a look at that again and taking into consideration whether it's at zone and higher price action. Because the idea of it, if it's a small pin bar, it's it might be worth it. there are some big pin bars where your risk reward's never going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
It
had
sounds
no
a bit too
idea.
simple though.
Yeah, it's very, very simple. I mean, his trading style is very simple.
Yeah.
But he's now like a position trader. He just takes these such slow trades, which is fine, because he's got a very busy lifestyle, and he's fine with it. You know, it takes him hardly any time to like trade. Just adjust his levels each morning, and then put these trades on. Huge stop losses, huge.
Yeah. I can't spend too long in drawdown. Just it hurts too much. I start scaling out.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's with a positive carry.
I think it's when you take a trade and it stay in the first, even if it's a trade you're only planning to be in for about 3 or 4 hours or so, but the first 20 minutes is all in drawdown, then it starts, none of it's ever in profit. You start thinking, what have I done?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting now to look at if there was more, if it's just that the pin bar didn't work, but it was more, because it's still trends in pound US and euro US. But back then I had no idea about liquidity. I had no idea about supply demand. It was all about support resistance and necklines. And you know how they aren't, there's a lot more to it than just that.
Yeah. I was thinking with that session candle indicator, I might have a little play with putting a vertical line where the start of the day is and actually having them green for bullish, red for bearish, or blue and red, just to see if that makes it look any easier to see.
Oh yeah.
I'll keep the current one. I'll just make a second version of it and just have a look.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pick where the start of the day is as well, where the vertical line sits, because you might want that to actually sit at the London session.
Yeah. No,
So visually, you see.
I've wanted that. I've wanted to see what the daily candle would look like if it was if New York was the start of the day rather than Asia. I've always wanted to see what that would be like.
Yeah. This is looking promising though.
Yeah. It had that little, because we thought, I mean, this is a good zone here. Made sense to have the reaction, and it was a pretty big reaction. Came back up, took out had another beautiful reaction. It's very deep now into it.
Maybe I should have taken profit where you did. I didn't have that zone in. What is that zone? That yellow zone? Where's that from?
The hour. So it's this structure. So I've just taken the neckline from here to here.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then it's rejected once. Rejected the second time. Now it's testing the third time. The fourth time, it will probably break it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's getting weaker and weaker as it's going. But the first reaction from here pushed price all the way up. Second reaction had a beautiful reaction. Third reaction, which is hopefully is less subdued. And then fourth, hopefully it'll eventually just break it through. And then we've got some of these deeper areas where there's liquidity. Because these zones here as well, if this is like an area of like an accumulation, then most of the buy side pressure would be in the bottom half. So
that 1 hour candle's looking nice now.
Still jumpy though, isn't it? Like it is still jumpy around here.
Yeah, it definitely needs to break that low.
Yeah. So it's a time that it can just be like, once it breaks, it can just be like, just straight down 2-3 minute candles, just down.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Break, sucker.
every time I open YouTube, I don't know how to stop this. I know it's only on my phone. It always starts off with a Greg video, which is really, really irritating for me. But I don't know why it does it. I don't know why the first one's always him. Well,
Yeah.
don't remind me.
Get premium. Never ad again. That's the best description out of all of them.
What's that? Sorry.
YouTube Premium.
All right. How much is YouTube Premium?
I'm not sure actually. I got the family, so it's £30. I think
the question's more what is the value of avoiding those adverts? They don't give you an answer.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know how much it is. Maybe
I'm having a look now.
£15.
£12 a month.
£12. There you are.
Oh, that's got to be worth it.
Yeah, I got the family, so gave it to so Sarah uses it, my mother uses it, I use it, and for just for keeping Maddie. If she knows how to push the buttons on not to push the buttons on the phone necessarily, but when I have YouTube Kids on, she knows that if she touches the screen, it creates this little ribbon of other videos down the bottom, and she just constantly just taps the other videos. And then there was one time I couldn't. I'm not sure why. Either my phone didn't have reception, or I needed to use it or something. But someone else that didn't have YouTube Premium tried to do it, and it was just they'd tap the video, and then it would just go to an ad, and you have to skip the ad. Then you play the video, then the kid taps another video, then it goes to another ad. It's just almost unusable.
Yeah. I was just looking at the prices. It also includes YouTube Music. I never even heard of that.
Oh yeah. I've never.
Is that? Are they music videos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might give it a go. I'm assuming you don't have to commit for 12 months, do you? You can do it for a month and see.
Yeah, mine's just monthly, month by month.
Yeah, I'll give that a go. If it keeps that chap off my initial home screen, then it's got to be worth the cash.
Yeah, YouTube Premium's fantastic. What I use it heaps for is because reception sucks in this country, so I'll get a whole bunch of stuff that I want to listen to. You just download it for offline, and especially when you go into if I go into a plane, I just download a whole bunch of videos or interviews and stuff that I want to listen to, and it just sits in my folder. I can just do it when I'm on the plane.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So when we're in the car as well, I've downloaded a whole bunch of Maddie's just some cartoons and things on the iPad, so that we just stick the iPad on the back of the seat on a long car ride, and if she starts kicking it, then that's our break glass emergency plan. We'll just put on that for an hour for her to be entertained till we get to our place or get to London or something.
I've got to decide what to do this afternoon. I've got a day off.
Oh yeah, July 4. No gold.
No gold, no.
Oh, gold's open, but
no, I'm not touching it. I'm not even going to look at it.
I think it closes early as well.
I took the world's smallest trade at 7 o'clock this morning. I thought I was putting 0.25% on as a low risk, but it was 0.025 on gold. So I went back to look at it, and it was worth literally nothing. So on the 15-minute on gold, it was a retest area. On the 1 hour, I think it was quite an easy retest area.
Did you trade from TradingView?
No. No, Pepperstone.
Oh, so
I just got the percentage wrong because I use a thing called what is it? Trade Assistant, which is it's the same thing George uses, but it's like magic keys, but it's actually on the screen.
Yeah.
But it was a retest error, and I put the trade on, and I went back to look at it about half an hour ago, and it was. So I thought, what on earth have I done?
Was it
It
like
looked like it was a massive move,
0-1
and it was
lots?
worth nothing. Yeah, yeah, it's just crazy. So I'm out of that.
That'll be the trade that wins, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was looking healthy. It was looking healthy.
Yeah, if you did it the other way around, made it 2.5 or 25%, we'd lose for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where you wish actually that it had lost, and you go, "Oh no, I've lost that," and then you look at it and go, "Actually, I've lost nothing."
Yeah, it's like on MetaTrader it's dangerous because like so many times this is why I've got rid of MetaTrader from my phone. It's like when I've traded indices in the morning and then trade gold in the afternoon, and if you forget to adjust the lot size, like you get an alert, it's hit your level, you go straight in there, and the last lot size you did on indices, which might be like 5
Yes.
lots, which would be the
Yeah,
equivalent
yeah.
of half a lot, but you go put like a couple lots on gold, and you just see it instantly what you've done because like as soon as you open, you're like, wait, hang on a second, this is down $30 or $40, like literally immediately. That something's not right. But
Yeah, when you push buy or sell and the email comes through to tell you got a margin call straight away.
I put a trade on when I was trying to figure out TradingView. Well, I don't trade on TradingView, but when I did, you can put things small, like on MetaTrader, the smallest you could put on is 0.01 lots. This is looking good now. Come on, break. So this is the smallest you can do on gold on MetaTrader. On TradingView, you can do smaller than that. Just want to see if this breaks. Come on, man. It's getting so close. But like paper trading. Okay. So look at my balance on here. I was playing around with the lot sizes, trying to figure it out on here, and I put something that was like absolutely ginormous on Bitcoin. And it doesn't close you out when you go to negative. So at one stage, this was like, yeah, it was just like negative P&L. And then I did a long time ago, but I think I had like $1 billion profit from a Bitcoin trade where it was like just stupid level. It was like, yeah, something stupid. Can't remember what it was. So, oh, not a billion, 185 million. Actually, I don't know. I don't get the lot sizes they did. Anyway, trade. That's what I wanted. Oh, depth of market. So say for example, so could you instead of I couldn't figure out this units. So I thought what I was looking at was I put on something that was thinking like one lot size would be like I thought these were units. So I thought that was like one micro lot. So I did 100, and then I put that on for a sell 100 units, and I sold. Oh, that's actually quite a lot. That's quite a lot. It might be different on indices. Oh, I think that is actually. Maybe it's for currencies.
Not very intuitive, is it? That
Yeah, I think it was currencies.
trading.
So I think it was currency. I think the difference I was just doing was indices. So 1 unit on a currency, say I buy, thinking that this might be whatever, but like this is smaller than 0.01 lots. Because if I put a TP on, like up to here, so say a price goes up on Swiss yen. I don't even know how to
Grayed out, isn't it? What's it doing?
I'll modify. Okay, so let's say I go for like if it goes here. So for Swiss yen, I remember putting the trade on once, and I was just trying to figure things out, make sure I didn't like F anything up with my real account, and I put on a trade that size, and price was running fine, and it was like 20-30 pips, and it wasn't even registering like a few cents. So see, like if it pushed up to 60, if it pushed up 60 pips, it would be the profit would be $1.26 if it pushed up 60 pips. Like that would be the world's smallest.
Pretty much like my gold trade today.
Yeah. Imagine being 60 pips in profit, you made $1. It's good to learn on. Be very good to learn on.
Hayden, just check the German price action again. No, it's just the hourly's just closed, but we got 10-minute negation as well. It's really struggling to close beneath that FU candle that formed there.
Yeah, it dipped a little bit lower, and it's obviously picked up a bit more liquidity. Hey,
there's 3-hour liquidity just beneath that. I was sort of eyeing that out as a target, but I'm not sure it's going to get there. It's really struggling to close beneath that consolidation there.
Yeah,
we need this 10 minutes to close.
Even on the low time frames.
It might be one of those things that's it's like 9 o'clock now. It could be 9:30. It could just like stay here for half an hour, and 9:30 is when it starts to dump down again. So see, like, so around this time, it's not unusual that we get that 9 o'clock, 9:10, 9:20, where it just starts to go sideways for a bit, and then after 9:30, when Hong Kong closes, that's when we get the next movement. Here was just so that was pretty much a dead day all day. Then the day before, it was kind of moved down on 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's
Holds back up again now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely struggling in this zone.
Reverse that whole drop.
Oh, I'm gonna probably take off. I'm not sure what this is gonna do. It's gonna let it sit. I think eventually once it closes through here, the more that this creates a support, eventually when it does break, I think that's a pretty easy run down to at least this zone. But the way that it's like, I just don't know. Just don't know when it's going to happen. It definitely is a significant level on the 1 hour, but the reaction from that level, the reaction, the more it hits this level, the weaker it gets. Eventually, it will break. That's a pretty strong reaction on the first hour candle. Now, the first part of this hour candle. You guys got any questions for me?
No, I'm fine. Thanks, mate.
You're good.
No, all good.
Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Danny. You too. You got any plans, guys?
I've got to take the little one. Well, I say the little one. My 14-year-old wants to go and see the Jurassic Park film.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that. What's it? I was looking for the reviews. The last one was disappointing, I think. That's it.
Oh, the Tour de France is starting this weekend. There's no need to move out the lounge room.
It's kind of all predictable stuff, but it's it's good entertainment, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to not watching Hoggy or Peppa Pig.
That PW Trader, by the way, is where I live. The initials of where I live, Petswood.
Oh.
But then on there, I didn't really want my name in there.
Yeah.
I know someone was asking earlier. I was talking to the
Danny.
wife. So.
Yeah, Danny wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
After Tassie, Michael? Cool. Oh, it'll be cold down there, man. Yeah, I actually find Peppa Pig quite funny, actually. When you actually sit down, I'm not sitting down watching it, but when it's on so much, you kind of appreciate like how it's made.
Oh, I love it. I loved it when he was young. Peppa Pig and Thomas the Tank Engine were the best two things on the planet. I still like Thomas if he's got it on TV.
Oh yeah.
I'll laugh at it. Have you seen the sketch from who's it? Mickey Flanagan on Thomas the Tank Engine?
Kitty Flanagan.
No. What's his name? Who's the comedian? I'm having a brain fart. Mickey Flanagan.
Oh, Mickey Flanagan.
If you watch that,
okay.
That's a really good. It's only a couple of minutes. It's a really good sketch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, worth 5 minutes just to watch that.
Yeah. No, I will.
You'll associate it with it at your age as well. Well, with your daughter's age.
Yeah, I was having a laugh at Daddy Pig had to throw stuff out. So Mummy Pig's like, it's time to take some of this stuff away, and they're like, okay, if you don't love it, but you haven't used it for so long, then you don't need it. And they were like, oh, okay. The Daddy Pig was really hesitant to do it, but the Pepper and George Pig got into it, so they ended up taking like a small box of stuff to the charity shop. And then at the charity shop, they were like, oh, look at this. This is great. And they come home with like bags and bags and bags of stuff, like bagpipes and stuff. So they took one small little box there because the Mummy Pig wanted to clean up. And they came back with like 3 times as much stuff. And they were like, the charity shop is the best shop ever. So much cool stuff.
You do question yourself when you're watching these programs with your kid and you're laughing away. And you think,
yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
But you got to laugh. They're really cleverly made. They're really good fun.
They are. Oh man, this is.
I'm starting to wish I'd taken profit now. That's quite a decent reaction.
Yeah. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on the runner if it's breaking above here. I think this is where now, if it has another rejection from this level, this is make or break for it. It either rejects here, comes back down again, and then I think the third time lucky will break through, or you wouldn't, like, if you're going long, I don't think you want it to come any lower than this. I think that fair value gap is as low as you want it if you're going to go long from here. But if it rejects,
it's a 2 candle negation on the 10-minute, and it's nearly breaking the high. I don't want it to close above that high.
Yeah, I think
It hasn't taken the hourly low yet, though.
No.
Check on gold. There's on the 1 hour. There's a good entry for you on that strategy you were talking about, Hayden. If you fancy some pain, you could you could sit in anguish for How big is that stop? It's huge.
Which one?
Well, look at that pin bar that formed there. So you'd enter
this
long
one,
there
yeah.
on that 1 hour strategy. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
But that's 100 pips, I think.
Yeah, no, hell no. Gold's so tough now because of what Asia
60.
session looks like. I've got no appetite whatsoever to trade gold in London session. It's just so often, it's these kind of crappy candles. I mean, Monday and Tuesday did all right where it trended. But so many times, like this London session is just, you get like 3 or 4 hours where price just grinds sideways. I'm just not into it whatsoever. If I was going to trade gold, it'd be New York session only.
You tend to get better moves on gold in the London session when you look at it taking the previous hour's high or low, and then you look on the 15 and 10 minute. I know that's very much what Akshay likes to do, but then you sometimes get some moves. But it's nothing. It is a quiet session, definitely.
Yeah. It's disappointing. It never used to be like this, but now it's the London exchange is.
I think Asia does so much, so many big moves now on gold.
Yeah. Asia, they do more volume than London with the Shanghai stuff.
They do more volume than the US sometimes. They just
yeah, sometimes. It looks like it's more volume because there's less competition. New York has more volume because it has to push through a lot more, so you get bigger moves. But Asia's now bigger than London volume, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, yeah. Well, if this takes my runner out, well, actually, I'll consider getting. If we reject here, and we have a fairly strong close, I'll actually add a position to break it, given where it's at. If it can reject that, if it comes back down and it's like pressuring again, I think I'll jump in to try scale in small position to smaller position than the entry. And I mean, the entry is already scaled out anyway, so probably equal to my runner. If it comes down again, to try break it finally to come down. And the stop loss would be above here, and I'll bring my stop loss. It'll basically be break even for both if it comes back up and breaks this a second time. For example, the first entry is about here, more or less, when this candle had rejected. I'm targeting here, and this is the top of where we're currently creating like a bit of a range consolidation. And if we were able to reject this area again, kind of like what it's doing now, but if it was like a candle, if it started doing something like this, I would think then the third time down to this level is likely to break, and I'd be fine to just put in a scale in and then my stop here, but then bring the stop for this one down more or less to the same level, so it'll basically be a break even. So kind of imagine like the stop loss for both of them would be here. So if it loses on this one, then it would be a loss on this one, but this one have locked in some profit. It's looking good now. It's actually looking good. Yeah. Well, I'm going to enter it. I'm going to enter the scaling now to break this zone.
Yeah, there's a nice entry on the 3 minute there. Your idea would have been good there. It's got an HCS and it's got an inside bar and it's broken below.
Yeah, the 4 minute looks even very nice as well. Could have got higher. But the more times it pressures this level, it's got to break some stage. 15 minutes about to come to a close. If this 15-minute could, in 30 seconds, break that low, it'd be a quick dump. Come on, 20 seconds.
It'll be 15-minute negation as well. Still struggling to close beneath that FE though.
It's been annoying. Come on, do it. Do it for us. Yeah,
There we go.
Finally.
SMG.
Finally.
Nice.
Okay. Just had to threaten to go, wasn't it? That's what we had to do. Just pretend to leaving. Was it? We scammed the market. Kill. Well, quite a few entries there you could have got. I'm still holding my long from yesterday on DAX, so close to TP in New York, so just left it. Oh, bugger. Thought today would have been bullish. Yeah, it's that news cycle shift. I'm trying to explore more about that. How from a supply demand point of view, I was actually thinking more about it. Like, it's such a common retail trap that we think profit taking at the end of the day, and it just doesn't. You know, the more you think about it, why would institutions profit take at the end of the day? There's just no volume for them to profit take. You know, just kind of like how New York, if New York closed up near the highs of the day, etc., highs of the session, highs of the day, they won't really, like, Asia can continue the trend, but it's unlikely that New York will want to close at the end of the day, because if there's no volume and they decide that they need to close big positions, but they've got no one to actually pass those trades to, the moves will be very dramatic. So it's actually hard for them to close at the end of the day. So likely it's going to have to be sessions later. So the more I thought about it then, because so many times when I've taken trades on like Dow Jones or NASDAQ for, like, learn the trade for their breakfast breakouts and stuff like that I give, so many times I'm like, look, just don't hold it through the close of the day just to be safe. But quite often the move that I'm looking for happens the day later. And it's just because, like, they kind of position themselves in that late in the session, but then there's just volume dries up, so then price kind of just stalls and stabilizes, and then it's not until new volume comes in that they can actually start doing profit taking, etc. So it makes a lot of sense why, and also the narrative, you get this thing called the news shift, where you get whatever causes initial move. There's a lot of hype, and they'll say, like, they take it surface level, but then as time goes by, like 8 hours or so, and then they've got time to actually look at the news, they start questioning some of the finer details, and that can just create opposite flow. And it's like they're breathing in and breathing out of the market. It makes a whole lot of sense when you actually think through the common retail sayings, profit take end of the day. Like, that's what we would do, but that's not what institutions do, because they can't move in and out of the market like we can. So we've got to think like them. Anyway, I mean, did you guys catch the sells at some stage of these sells? Did anyone get a piece of them? There's plenty of opportunities to get in. In hindsight, there's plenty of opportunities. You did the second one? Yeah. That second one, that one there was from after price going so long, ranging here. The second one is like, look, it's consolidating here, and it's either that this is going to be a rejection, or that's going to be the first time that this is the top's breaking and the support's holding. So if this is pushing down, you don't want to push down too deep. But when it was pushing down too deep, that's where it's like best entry would have been here. But even then, like you would have had to have had a quick finger, because you're thinking potentially it's going to go up, or you think it's going to go down. But once it's down here, you're like, oh man, it's going to test that again. So you get in for a quick move. Because it's a breakout, you've got to be a bit more secure with a bit faster with your trade management, because like up here, the cowboy entries, these are the easiest to ride out, the riskiest, but the easiest to ride out because of your entry's so nice and high. But when you start entering like down here, it's so easy for price just to put down and come back up, put you in drawdown for a little bit. So I think breakout entries, you really need to take profits. When you get cowboy entries, a well-planned cowboy entry, you can easily hold that position longer without worrying about it coming back to your entries as much. But breakout trades, very difficult. Oh, you got in there, Nish. Yeah, that on the 4-minute chart, that was 4-minute chart and 3-minute chart. That's a very nice candle rejecting this. The supply zone. Eddie got some, but I'm out already. Yeah. It's dangerous when you get into these areas, because the lower we get down to here is untested areas like this. Above yesterday's London low has all been tested. But now that we finally took London low out, and we're getting into some of these more fresher demand levels, this is where it gets really hard to hold price.
If you look on the 15, there's an inside bar to the left as well. So I moved my take profit to the bottom of that bar. The red one. Yeah. I didn't know if it takes the low and then takes that and might reverse. So I've taken full profit there.
Yeah, cool, man. Good work. All right, guys. I'm officially going to go now. So we had to scam the market. Awesome. All right, guys. We have a good weekend. Okay, and I'll see you. I'm trying to get some. I keep on making these videos on, and then I have like a few videos I've tried to like do for supply demand, and I'm just not happy with the final product. I'm trying to work out how I can slice it up better, but I try to just do it in one go. So I'll see this weekend what I can get out, and then otherwise I'll see you guys on Monday morning, okay, early for the outlook.
Cheers, Hayden.
Any questions?
Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah, cheers. Any questions, hit me up in Discord, okay? I'll chat to you guys later.
Unless I